Welcome back. Today we'll be continuing the reading of Bug Guy, my novel about the giant bug from Kafka's The Metamorphosis becoming an influencer. Chapter 9, Part 2. When I opened the door of my apartment, I was immediately greeted by Mary.
Hey, I've been so worried. I came here this morning and couldn't find you anywhere. I texted you, called you, sent up smoke signals, but you turned off your phone or set it on mute.
Her voice trailed off mid-sentence as she saw a huge clam crawling into the room using its giant tongue.
Sorry, I had to take Mom to the hospital. She turned into a giant clam,
I said. Mary was in shock. She stood in the middle of the room like a statue, and it wasn't until Evelyn nudged her that she realized she was supposed to be filming us. While she went to retrieve her camera, Evelyn filled the tub with water and sea salt. For my part, I went to the computer and began typing furiously.
What are you doing?
Mary asked, pointing her camera at me.
Some serious research,
I said, not even looking up from the monitor.
The doctor says there has been an outbreak of people turning into giant clams. He says he doesn't know why it's happening, but maybe I can do some research to see if I can crack the case.
Why do you think you can crack the case? You don't even have a medical degree.
I have something more powerful than a medical degree. A moderate following on social media. I'm sure that if I spread the word, others who are suffering from sudden onset clam syndrome will get in contact with me, and together we'll pool our knowledge to get to the bottom of this.
As soon as I put the final touches on my Reddit post and hit send, I got an incoming Skype call. It was Brian.
Hey, how's the bug guy doing?
He said in an annoyingly ebullient voice.
Did you just call me bug guy? Yeah, I mean, you are the bug guy, aren't you? Yes, but we've known each other for about a decade, and you've always called me Greg. It's just weird that now you only think of me as the bug guy, even though I've only been a bug for just a few weeks. That's a good sign. It speaks to the strength of your personal brand that even someone who has known you for such a long time begins to forget your former identity as a human and now only knows you as a giant bug. And the best part of it is your brand is completely unique. There are no other bug influencers for you to compete with. You completely own this space. Well, that may no longer be true. This morning, my mom turned into a giant clam. Hey, that's good news too! We can put the two of you as a mother and son duo. And if your dad turns into a giant lobster, we can market your TV show as the Bug Family. I don't think that's a good idea. First of all, we have no idea why Mom turned into a giant clam in the first place, so I wouldn't know how to turn my dad into a giant lobster. Second, I don't think my dad wants to be turned into a giant lobster. I mean, if you could only see Mom. Here, I'll turn the screen so you can see her. She's crying all the time, desperately wanting to turn back into a human. No problem. Just explain to her that I'll make her a star, just like her son. After she realizes she'll be a big celebrity, she'll definitely be glad she turned into a giant clam. If that's the only way to stop her constant crying, I guess I have no other options. Don't worry. If you trust me with your mom, you're putting her in good hands. Speaking of putting your trust in me, did you get a chance to watch your TV show? No, I don't see any reason why I should watch my own show. I mean, I'm on it, so I should know exactly what happened, right? Well, there's a lot of editing, and also sometimes things happen that you don't notice until you watch it. For example, one particular segment of your show is blowing up on the internet.
Brian switched his screen to a video of me getting my face polished with power tools.
As you can see from the numbers, this video has received 5 million views. Okay. I don't understand. Why is this video so popular? I was confused by this at first, but have you heard of online challenges? You mean like when people were choking on cinnamon for internet clout? Yeah, that's a good example. There has been a bunch of challenges. Anyway, the latest is the Bug Skincare Routine Challenge.
Brian switched his screen to another video, this time showing an attractive young fellow with very well-defined jawline, thick eyebrows, and a goatee. A video of me getting my face polished with power tools was playing in the corner, and after that video finished, he picked up an orbital sander and said,
"This is me, trying the bug face cleaning routine."
He turned on the orbital sander and slowly put it against his cheek. As the spinning sandpaper touched his face, he flinched, and I flinched too. I couldn't believe a man just had hurt himself like that, for reasons that completely mystify me.
"Ow!"
He said, kneeling on the ground in pain as the camera zoomed in on scratches and traces of blood on his face. After what seemed like a long time, but was really only 20 seconds, he recovered and lifted his head to face the camera. Then, with a laugh, he said,
"Okay, I'm going to try that one more time."
I couldn't stomach it and asked Brian to stop the video.
Oh my God, this is horrible. We must do something to keep people from defacing themselves. But don't you see, you're getting a lot of free publicity from this. The ratings for your show are through the roof. But people are getting hurt. Hey, that's just the way things go sometimes. What people are doing here is mild compared to what the idiots on Jackass did. And you know, young men are stupid anyway. So if they're not doing the Bug Skincare Routine Challenge, they're going to do something else to injure themselves. Are you insane? Who in the world thinks... Well, it turns out that putting an orbital sander against my face isn't a good idea, so I guess I'll have to go back to crawling on my stomach over broken glass. Come on, let's get these videos pulled off the internet. Greg, you're blowing this way out of proportion. Sure, people have gotten a few cuts, but no one has ended up in the hospital yet. Let's wait until someone suffers some catastrophic injury before we pull the plug on this. I even got a call from the manufacturer of the power tools you use to do your morning routine. They want to do a promotional deal with you. You don't want to scuttle the deal by pulling your most popular video off the internet, do you? I've got your back, Greg.
Was he calling me Greg again, just to try to manipulate me?
This is so disgusting. I don't want to make money out of other people's suffering. Hey, this is how capitalism works, baby. If you don't like it, move to North Korea. Anyway, I can't stay on this call for long. I have an important meeting to go to. Ciao.
I could barely muster a
Bye.
After that conversation, I realized I needed a break from the computer so I could find out how Mom was doing. She was lying in the bathtub, using her tongue and siphon to restlessly putter around the confines of her enclosure. Evelyn was in attendance. She poured green liquid into the tub, which Mom immediately slurped up.
How are you doing, Mom?
I asked. She raised her shell above the water and said,
The water feels great, but the tub is too small.
Sorry about that, but I can't afford to get you an aquarium right now. At least not one big enough for your body type.
Evelyn left and came back with another pitcher of green liquid.
Did I hear you speaking about Brian? About a promotional deal with a power tool company? With money from that, you can afford to buy your mom an aquarium.
Yeah, but it's a deal that tries to piggyback off a viral phenomenon where people put power tools against their faces. I don't want to be involved with something like that.
What are you talking about?
Mom asked. I gave her a detailed explanation of what was going on.
I don't give a rat's patootie about those idiots. Who's more important, your mom or some nincompoop is grinding his face with a power tool?
But Mom, I can't sacrifice the well-being of millions of people just for your sake. Like they say on Star Trek, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Oh, just because you watched a few episodes of Star Trek, that suddenly makes you some kind of fancy pants moral philosopher? Who made you the supreme judge of right and wrong? Are you really some kind of high-minded thinker? Or do you just like to flaunt your knowledge to make yourself look superior? Why can't you take care of your family first before you sacrifice for other people?
I was genuinely hurt by Mom's tirade. I wanted to cry, but bugs don't have tear glands, so I simply lowered my head in defeat and crawled out of the room. In the living room, I told Mary to pour me a drink.
Okay,
She said, opening the fridge.
we have Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper.
No, I mean, pour me something hard.
Mary seemed startled.
What? I thought you stopped drinking alcohol after that time you drunk streamed yourself.
Yeah, but sometimes you have a day so hard that only the burning taste of liquor can send you off into the sweet peace of oblivion.
Mary shrugged, went to the bar off the corner of the room, and started to mix me a margarita. I took a deep breath and crawled to the computer. Maybe some funny cat videos would cheer me up. But when I got on my computer, I noticed a DM notification on Facebook. I clicked on it and began reading.
Dear Mr. Samsa, I hope this message finds you well. I am a scientist who has spent most of his career doing R&D for drug and cosmetic companies. I may have some pertinent information on why your mom turned into a giant clam. If you want to know more, please contact me. Yours, Bernard Paulson.
Right below his DM was another message containing a Skype link. My anxious legs couldn't move fast enough to click on it. After enduring the annoying ringtone, I saw a head of a well-groomed, silver-haired gentleman appear on the screen. The head had a silver mustache and copious beard. The face was not unlike that of a slightly younger, slimmer Santa Claus. When he realized that he could see me too, Dr. Paulson flashed a friendly smile.
That was quick.
He said. I felt a little awkward. Talking to a stranger on the internet face-to-face was still an alien experience for me. So in a hesitant voice, I said,
Thanks for contacting me.
Yes, quite excellent. Let me introduce myself formally. I am Bernard Paulson, MD, PhD, the inventor of an anti-aging clam cream. At your service.
Really?
You sound surprised.
That's because Kathy Carpathian told me clams were used by Indians as a traditional remedy. So naturally, I expected the inventor of an anti-aging clam cream to be, more Indian.
Dr. Paulson raised an eyebrow and said,
Oh, really? I've done a lifetime of research on clams, and I've never come across a single record of their being used as a traditional remedy by Indians, either the South Asian or the North American variety.
I paused to let what Dr. Paulson had told me sink in. I already knew that Kathy was taking liberties with the truth, to say the least. But the sheer amount of bullshit she was willing to invent somehow stunned me.
That's eye-opening. Thanks for correcting my misunderstanding, Dr. Paulson. But now that we're talking, there is something about the anti-aging clam cream I'd like to know. If you're using clams that live for 500 years, wouldn't they be very rare?
Yes, the specimens of the species that live up to 500 years are indeed very rare. But even so, most memberships of that species don't live anywhere close to 500 years. For example, we have ships off the coast of Maine that suck those clams off the bottom of the ocean by the ton, and most of those clams are in their 20s.
Wow, that's amazing. Imagine being able to live 500 years, but instead getting sucked up into a ship and then onto someone's dinner plate when you're barely out of your teens.
Quite so. Anyway, I don't want to waste my time or yours, so I'll cut to the chase. A few years ago, Ms. Carpathian hired me to develop a new product for her skincare line. At the time, I had a scientific hunch that isolating a substance from this species of clam would have powerful anti-aging effects on human skin. I did, in fact, find a way to improve certain biomarkers related to age, but during animal testing, it showed some unusual side effects. Your mother being a case in point.
He produced a stainless steel cage from under his desk and pointed his webcam at it. At first, it looked like there was a clam inside the cage, but then whatever it was started to wag its tail. Dr. Paulson put a bit of cheese inside the cage, and the clam, for it was indeed a clam, opened its shell, revealing a pair of incisors, then squeaked like a mouse as it hobbled across the cage floor toward the food. Watching the mouse clam eat the cheese was mesmerizing, if simultaneously disturbing. For a full minute, I couldn't say anything, but then I managed to snap out of my hypnotic trance and said,
Incredible. But I have a big question. With these known side effects, shouldn't your product be pulled off the market?
Yes, that's what I told Kathy. She wouldn't listen.
You're the inventor. Couldn't you have put your foot down?
Dr. Paulson shook his head.
When Kathy hired me, I signed a contract relinquishing all my intellectual property rights. Without ownership of the IP, I had no say whatsoever.
I see. It works the same way in the software development business. I know, because I was in it for many years.
Exactly. You must know that Kathy is a dullard in many different areas, but in this particular one, she's sharp as a tack.
But couldn't you have blown the whistle?
I could have, but Kathy has a raft of lawyers, and going up against her would have taken a lot of money and time. Besides, my wife had just come down with leukemia, and I needed the health insurance I'm working for Kathy. Otherwise...
I'm sorry to hear that. I hope your wife is doing better.
She is, at least for the time being.
Well, I want to let you know that I'll support you if you do decide to blow the whistle.
Thanks. I have to go now, but let's keep in touch.
Okay, bye.
After closing my Skype window, I noticed some new messages in my Facebook feed.
Hi, Bug Guy.
One of them read,
I've been turned into a giant clam too. Can I get in touch with your mom so we can talk about how to cope with life?
Another read,
Hey, Bug Guy, my mom turned into a giant clam too. I need help because I don't know what to do.
There were so many of them.
Bug Guy, I have a theory about why people are turning into clams. Let's get together and figure this out.
All this pressure. Suddenly, I felt the dead weight of responsibility on what used to be my shoulders. My antennae were literally sagging, but the obligation to respond to these people was too strong, so I started tapping out replies. Just then, Mary came up to me with a drink in her hand and said,
Here.
I looked up and said,
Sorry, I feel fine now. I don't need that anymore.
Okay, but a margarita is only good when it's chilled.
Give it to Evelyn.
Mary did just that, heading for the bathtub where Evelyn was scrubbing my mom's shell. She proceeded to thrust the pitcher of margarita in Evelyn's face.
Maybe later.
Evelyn said,
But right now I have some chewing gum to scrape off Greg's mom's shell. Oh,
Mom said, excitedly poking the lips of her shell out of the water.
I love margaritas. Can you pour me a glass? I'm not sure how you can hold the drink.
Mary said.
I'll just drizzle it down your throat and you can tell me when to stop.
Mom bobbed up and down in eager anticipation. Then Mary started pouring. Mom gulped the drink like there was no tomorrow. And after half a pitcher was gone, Mary seemed concerned. She stopped pouring.
What?
Mom huffed.
I didn't tell you to stop. I think you've had enough.
Mary said.
I'll tell you when I've had enough.
Mom said condescendingly. Mary knew when she was beat. She poured the rest of the pitcher down Mom's throat. After swallowing the last drop of the fruity cocktail, Mom stretched her giant pink muscle in satisfaction and said,
Oh, yeah. That's the way to be calm, happy, and all liquored up. Say, isn't there a dish called the drunken clam? I must be delicious.
Then she sank to the bottom of the tub. As amusing as it was watching Mom get drunk, I looked at my computer and saw the burgeoning list of Facebook messages from unfortunates who had been turned into clams and realized there was important business to attend to. I spent the rest of the day trading messages with them and informing them of what I learned from Dr. Paulson. After that, all the clams agreed we should organize a private Facebook page and come up with an agreement on what to do about our common situations. But there was a lot to do, such as figuring out when everyone would be available for a Zoom call, taking testimonies from everyone. I also contacted a lawyer. Pretty soon I had lost track of time, and the afternoon had slipped away into evening, and then night.
Dinner!
Ellen announced, pulling me out of my reverie. She was holding a pizza box.
Already?
Yeah, it's 8. I didn't want to disturb you. You seemed so absorbed in doing whatever you were doing, and you seemed so serious.
Yes, I'm about important business. We're planning to file a lawsuit.
Evelyn looked confused.
A lawsuit? And who is we?
I explained the whole situation, what Dr. Paulson had told me, and my interactions on Facebook.
Oh,
Evelyn said, holding her hand up to her mouth.
thank God. I almost tried on that cream earlier today.
What? But you're only in your 20s.
Late 20s.
She corrected me.
And a week ago I found a gray hair on my head.
You poor thing.
I said, teasing her. Evelyn put her arms around me and kissed me.
You would still love me if I went gray, wouldn't you? And even if turned into a giant clam, right?
Of course. I don't think I have a choice.
Evelyn looked puzzled.
What do you mean you don't have a choice?
It means I'm a sucker. I will do anything for a girl who is nice to me. And if that girl is you, so much the better.
Evelyn giggled.
That's sweet.
She hugged me again and said,
Don't stay up too late tonight. You need a good night's sleep.
You needn't worry about me. I'll get a good night's sleep after I'm finished with roughing out the language of lawsuit and sending it around for comments before sending it to the lawyer.
No, you don't understand. I need a good night's sleep.
Evelyn said with a wink. I finally got the picture.
Fine. I can finish this tomorrow.
I said, powering my computer down and grabbing the box of pizza and following Evelyn back to our boudoir. And that concludes Chapter 9 of Bug Guy. I would like to thank my friends Edie Matthews and David Strom for reading along with me. If you are interested in buying the paperback version of this book, I left a link down below.
There's so many times I wanted to giggle, but I didn't want to.
I'm watching more cat videos on Facebook and so forth. It figured out I like those, so...
My girlfriend has 3 cats, or is it 4? I can't remember.
yeah.
And she gets hooked watching. I've seen it. I can't even remember when I saw one, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, we had cats when I was a kid, and dogs, but
Yeah.
I've said this before, if I was to have a pet, definitely a cat.
Yeah, we had them when we were kids too. One was a kind of a tiger stripe one, but when it sat up, it had like white fur, so it looked like it was wearing a white fur piece, and my mother called it Lady Ermine. The clam thing's hilarious. And
I did not
and
expect that to happen when she was going on with this.
particularly when there's been an outbreak of people turning into clams, I go, oh my god.
I do like voicing the doctor character because I think he's a wonderful character in SpongeBob.
Yeah, that.
But I have to be sure he sounds a little bit different from Phil Silver, so I try to put on kind of a con man, almost psychotic smile on my face when I'm doing it.
No, that was good.
That the way your facial expression is will affect the way you talk.
Yeah.